So, do you have some recommendations or you want to talk about some ways where organization can implement some controls in order to prevent data leakage or maybe misuse of these AI applications?
Okay, now this question is very close to my heart, so I'll be talking in detail about this particular query. Uh, I'll take at least 5 to 10 minutes to answer this. This because I think this is one of the most important questions you have asked. Uh, why this is important question as per me is as because an organization rush to adopt, organization are rushing to adopt Gen AI. The first major concern for the CISO and the board is often not can we use AI, but how do we use it without losing control over data, DPDP into picture, we all know how important the data is. Even the government is uh, uh, even it is government's pride,
Yeah.
and that is why DPDP came into picture. Now, honestly, the answer is layered defense. There is no single control, no doubt about this. There's a layered defense, and there is no single control for this. So I usually break it into governance controls, technical controls, runtime controls, and resilience controls. Uh, Start with data governance before AI governance. Okay. Uh, a lot of organizations try to secure AI first and data second. It should be the opposite. You have to secure the data first and let's get into AI second. If sensitive data, for example, let's take an example. If sensitive data is not classified, governed, and controlled, AI will amplify that risk. Okay. So what organization need is data classification. Don't categorize into four if you are four categories if you are feeling it little overwork. Categorize into three, for example, public, confidential, and regulated. Data minimization principles, very very important. Tokenization and masking, encryption in use in transit and rest. And who knows better encryption or the use of encryption than you yourself, and the importance of it. Restriction on what data can be sent to external models, very very important. And one of the use cases you guys are solving is this use case. For example, several enterprises now redact PII, customer data, or source code before prompts ever reach an LLM. Now that's powerful because you reduce exposure before the model even processes the data.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah. So I often say, don't just protect the model from bad data. Protect your data from unsafe model usage. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, uh, in continuity to it, I'll say implement guardrails around prompts and outputs. Now this is becoming a very major control layer. People focus heavily on model security, but they forget prompts are effectively a new attack surface. You know, Control here include, for example, prompt filtering, prompt injection detection, output validation, toxicity and leakage filters, policy-based response restrictions. Let's take an example. Okay. If someone asks a model to retrieve confidential records or expose internal instructions, guardrails should intercept that. Now think of it as WAF controls for AI interactions. You have to correlate with the existing to make people understand sometimes. I always say this, think of it as WAF controls for your AI interactions. Now, in that case, people understand it better in our case. Now, and in Gen AI, prompt security is becoming what input validation was traditional application. Uh, then comes secure retrieval systems, specifically RAG architectures. This is huge right now. A lot of enterprises are building retrieval augmented generation systems connected to internal knowledge. This
Right.
introduces new risk, poison documents, malicious embedded instructions, unauthorized document retrieval, sensitive data exposure. Uh, a compromised knowledge source can manipulate model's response. So now let's talk about few controls here. Document trust validation, retrieval logging, context sanitization. Access controls on retrieval sources. Access controls were there, are there, will always be there. Okay. Because in many cases, the model isn't the weak point. The data feeding the model is the data which is feeding the model is. Okay. Now, now comes DLP for AI. Okay. Now, traditional DLP now needs an AI lens. Uh, I have not found any outstanding solution as of now in the market to do this. People are doing it, but not to the core that I also want. They are also maturing now. So you need controls for prompt monitoring, sensitive data detection in prompts, output inspection, model interaction monitoring, policy enforcement or risky requests. Okay. Now, some organization now deploy AI-aware DLP that can detect source code uploads, regulated data in prompts, insider misuse patterns. That is becoming increasingly important. But as I said, this solution is in the early stages of maturity. Okay. Now comes the runtime monitoring and behavioral detection. So AI system need monitoring like applications too. Okay. Think SIEM plus AI telemetry plus behavioral analytics, because prevention alone is not enough. Detection does matter. Okay. And human oversight for high risk decisions is very, very important. This gets overlooked in security decisions. Sometimes the best control is human approval. And even I feel today that there is no doubt about this. The best control is human approval in today's scenario of AI, especially for financial transactions, security actions, legal decisions, healthcare decisions, and autonomous agent tasks. Human in the loop control remains vital. Uh, as I always say this multiple times, even to my own team, not every decision should be delegated to automation. And coming from the military background, I know I understand the importance of it. Then secure the AI supply chain, because compromising AI components can be the next supply chain blind spot. Uh, Build governance and policy controls. We already had a word about it, NIST, AI, RMF2, then 42001, GDPR, DPDPA. You know, Security without governance is incomplete.